All right, what's up, guys? Corey Winkoff here with the Long Island Lacrosse Journal. I got Jarrod Newman, PLL Pro Athlete, Epoch Pro Athlete, Providence alum. He's a stud defenseman for the PLL. It's good to have you on, man. How you doing over there?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's been nice connecting with some of the Epoch pros. Got a chance to talk to Stotts, talking to Sexton a little bit later today. Very, very highly anticipated interview with you. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about your journey and talk about what's going on of late. How are you adjusting here to the pandemic? How are you holding up there?
It's crazy. You gotta find a way and find time to, get your reps in and stay busy and work out. And that looks drastically different for me from what it did, 2-3 months ago when could go to a gym and do whatever I wanted. So just about finding a way, staying positive.
How are you finding a way? Like, what are you doing at home to stay in shape?
I have some dumbbells and some weights that I use, but then push-ups, sit-ups. Now with the announcement of the quarantined PLL championship tournament, I've started, including cardio more and more, pushing that. So that's definitely, in terms of phasing, that's definitely starting to phase in quite a bit more, the cardio. So make sure I can get in game shape considering we're going to have a much shorter training camp.
Yeah. So you're kind of doing like the jailhouse workout. You're just taking
a little bit of everything.
Just crushing it. Nice. You feeling lean? How's the body fat?
Yeah, getting there. The running's definitely does that. Gotta soon phase in the agility and speed work. Just sort of getting, my breath so that I could be in game shape. And now you got to put in the speed and agility work to help, round it out.
I feel like, considering your game, how it's evolved in the PLL with you just like, just bombing twos and like shooting from all over the place. Like, how do you like, where can you find like an ideal space to like practice that? I feel like it's like got to be difficult.
In terms of like shooting and stick work, yeah. I mean, if I shoot, I need like at least 15, 20, somewhere in that range to shoot from. So like if I'm warming up and doing just like basic like shooting drills to start, yeah, I could use like a 10-yard surface. But when I start taking like full live rep shots, I need like in between 15 to 20 yards away from the net to shoot. So essentially half a field is good.
Would you say that like shooting is part of your regiment? Like it might be for like an attackman, and do you also use a pole strictly when you shoot, or do you also mess with the short stick a little bit?
When I was learning fundamentals, I used the short stick quite a bit, but now that I've sort of gotten it down, I use the pole the whole time. And I shoot with my hands in different spots just to get used to the feeling if I ever need it. So like I'll do finishes with, choked up. I'll do finishes with my hands in the bottom. I'll shoot 10 yards with, a mid grip, and then 10 yards with a full grip. And then I'll do my 15 or 20 with sort of my normal grip, and just getting used to that and just getting those reps is what's important.
Yeah. Are you just trying to translate to kind of game situations where like you don't really know where your hands are going to be, so you got to be able to
get
ready?
Like if I'm coming down and let's say I crash the crease on a fast break, my hands might be where I would pick up a GB. And if I pick up a GB in front of the net and got to get it out quickly, I don't have time to slide my hands down and wind up and shoot. So I'm just sort of covering all the ways that I might have to get a shot off.
What percentage are you using your left hand?
Not very much lefty. No, I make sure I do all my, throwing, passing, catching, ground balls, all that stuff. But shooting, that's not really my thing. I'm more of I'd go more Canadian style. I'd rather go backhand and sort of flip it around that way. Throw a twister in there, something like that. But not too much shooting lefty.
How are you, obviously you train and you practice, but like how are you able to have your percentage be so high from behind the two last year?
I think it's a combination of things, right? I think when you're looking at a short stick, typically guys are, goalies are more used to tracking the shot off a short stick than they would be a pole. So over and doing a couple things. One, like shooting over the top. If you watch the way I shoot, right, I'm basically hiding the head of my stick behind my back the whole time. And as soon as it gets in sight, it's coming overhand. The speed helps, right? It makes goalies have to sort of react a little quicker. But I mean, altogether, when the ball is coming at a downward angle from what a goalie sees at 15, feet in the air, naturally your natural instincts to duck. I think all of those things, sort of the misdirection, the sneakiness, and then the speed all sort of helps that shooting percentage.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing how much goes behind. Like, obviously, people see the end product on TV and on Instagram, like you just hammering the ball and like firing it past goalies. But it's cool to hear how much goes behind it and how much you practice it, because it's definitely an art to figure that out. And I feel like you're like trailblazing too, which is pretty sweet. Like no one has
Yeah.
seen this before from a defenseman.
Yeah, I think that's that's probably like the coolest part for me, is sort of being a new breed, or what's been coined as sort of like a new generation of defensemen. I mean, everyone I've looked at or watched or admired for their defensive skills has always been like the never cross the midfield line sort of guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like LSMs have done it, right? Like I'm not saying no defender has ever pushed pace or played offense, right? LSMs have done it; they've been good at it. But when you play between the lines and you're on wings for faceoffs, it's a lot easier of a thing to do, considering you're already at the midfield line. So pushing
Mm-hmm.
is not that big of a deal. But being a close defender and then guarding the opposing team's best player, it adds another element of it. Because if you're down there and you get stuck down there and the ball gets jammed down your throat the other way and the other team's coming down quickly, like you're not on your guy now. So the best player is essentially left open.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a short stick on him, which is not what you want. So there's risks to it, but I mean, the reward factor is great. I think we had a really good year last year in terms of transition points. And it's fun to be a part of something that, the lacrosse world has never seen.
Yeah, 100%. Well, going back a little bit, you obviously weren't always that type of player. You've evolved. Can you talk a little bit about your just lacrosse journey? Where you started, when you picked up a stick, and then take us through kind of when you got to Providence.
Yeah, absolutely. I started my senior year in high school. I was 18 years old. A former professional lacrosse player, Matt Strebel, inducted to the Hall of Fame, I think 3-time Team USA player, just all around great midfielder. Definitely considered one of the best of all time at his position. Just became my high school coach, and I had no idea who he was. I'm not going to sit here and act like I did. I was not involved in the game or around the game, so I had no idea. But my friends were all very excited about it. They played lacrosse. I had never seen a lacrosse game. And then eventually my senior spring came around where I was really looking to go to prep school. So I had a spring semester where basketball was now over and I sort of had nothing to do, and made up my mind I was going to play a sport. Decided I was going to run track until Matt Strebel and my buddies convinced me to go out for the lacrosse team. So, I played 2 months of lacrosse starting at 18 years old. Did a postgraduate year where I played that spring, and then went to tons of, prospect days, clinics, camps for colleges all over the country, because I decided this is something I want to do at the next level, and ended up at Providence, where I had a great experience. I spent 4 years there. Couldn't be happier with my time there. Probably some of the nicest facilities in the country, by like hands down. I think they're definitely up there. They're definitely top 5 of the nicest facilities out there. Beautiful place, great city, great teammates, great relationships. The networking there is unbelievable. Right? If you're a Friar, it means a lot. It goes above and beyond. Like those relationships, I'm friends with guys who were the class of 92, 93, 87, 86, 85. These guys just love that school, whether they played lacrosse or not. So I couldn't speak highly enough of Providence and my time there. And then ended up getting drafted to the MLL and spent some time in the pros. And my third year, which would have been my third year in the MLL, the PLL started, and I decided to make the jump, and the rest is history.
It's awesome. I feel like it's unique about you kind of starting late. You're probably just trying to learn and have some fun with it and like get better. So like when you were going to like those prospect days and stuff like that, I feel like the average kid is kind of going like, oh, I got to get looks. Like, this is my time and playing my whole life. For you, were you just going to like do that, or were you really going more to like learn from college coaches and just like figure the game out?
I was going to get looks because that was something. It was a sport I really liked. I really had a lot of fun with it, and it was something I thought that I really wanted to do. But at the same time, I wasn't very skilled. I really struggled to catch or throw a consistent 20-yard pass. I could throw the ball to someone 10 yards away, but 20, 30, 40 midfield pass is over, so it was very inconsistent. I didn't have enough time, right? I had enough time to really hone in on those skills and master them yet. So when I went to those, I just basically let out my competitiveness, and I just tried to win everything that I could win. If we did a running drill, I knew I could win it. If we did, conditioning drill, I knew I could win it. If we were, doing team stuff. I knew I had the IQ from basketball to know where to help and how to help my teammates out. And then if I had to guard someone, that was my best attribute, right? One-on-one, mano-a-mano. I didn't need to catch. I didn't need to throw. I didn't need to do any of that. I just used my size, athletic ability, and IQ to not let the other guy score. And that's what I was really good at. And that's what I decided to prove. So I made sure I won every one-on-one, and I won everything that I could win. But the skills weren't there. So that definitely turned a lot of coaches off, but I didn't let it discourage me. And eventually I found a home that wanted me for me and liked me as a player and wanted to see my personal development, which I think is super important. And I made a name for myself there.
Yeah, it's awesome. And so you talk about now going pro, and you had a huge year last year. You were the Dave Petramalo Defensive Player of the Year, which is awesome. You led the league in 2-pointers. You're kind of trailblazing just in the position and in the sport in general. Can you just kind of talk and reflect on your experience with the PLL so far and in the team you're on?
Yeah. Being a part of the Chaos Lacrosse Club and the PLL has been unbelievable. It's been amazing. The experience, the treatment of players from head to toe, from top down, has been unbelievable. It's the first time I probably really feel like an actual professional athlete because I'm actually finally treated that way. And that's great. But in terms of, my season and what I could accomplish, I think I did a ton. I think it's really hard for defensemen to stand out sometimes. Some of the guys I've idolized and looked at, right, never really stood out in the stat sheet or did a lot in the stat sheet, but they were always considered the best defenders. Because, when a guy dodges you a bunch and you stop him a bunch and he passes the ball away, right, you're doing your job, but there's no stats in that. There's no story in that. So I really tried to model my game after that, and to win that Dave Petramalo award is huge, right? Someone who started so late is now winning an award who is what you'd probably say is named after the GOAT of lacrosse defensemen. And I think it's really cool, and I think that it's really exciting that I am now, I've started late and I win that award, and I'm sort of now changing the style, or at least the boundaries of what a close defenseman is.
Yeah, no doubt. It's really cool. I think as I kind of think back from, I followed it for a lot of reasons, just being in the game, working in the game, passionate about the game, but from a media perspective too. I thought the All-Star game was so cool last year, just as like one memory that stood out. Specifically, just you out there with your stick, that like tie-dye rainbow style stick. Can you just talk about that thing and let's talk a little bit about you being an Epoch Pro Athlete, because I just think that's a really cool story, and like that's just something I'll always remember.
Yes. So Epic's been great to me over my time. We have a great relationship. They're guys that just get it. They want to provide you with the best equipment that they can, and they want to provide it to make sure it lasts at the highest level, right? They don't want to just throw something in your hands that you're gonna break 40 times and have to get new ones. They want something that's durable but dependable in every way, and it suits your game for what you need. So they've been phenomenal on that front. I actually remember reaching out to the Epic guys and being like, hey, I'm an all-star. It's my first time. Like, I want something special. Like, I want a special shaft. I want something that's, not going to be seen very often. I'd love it to match the uniforms. They said they would work on it. They'd get back to me. They obviously coordinated really well with the guys over at the PLL, and they made me that shaft. Unfortunately, they gave it to a couple of the other Epic athletes too, even though I was the one who had the idea. But I don't think you really notice anyone else's, because a lot of guys cover up their sticks with tape and stuff. When my stick is like that, you gotta let it show. So that's exactly what I did. And I mean, that thing was awesome. That thing got a lot of buzz, and I think that Epic's one of the few companies out there that can do that, right? They can turn around a custom product for what you need and what you want in a short amount of time.
I think for the 2021 All-Star game, we just got to talk to James. We need an exclusive Jarrod Newman shaft next year, and hopefully you're in the All-Star game, and that's it. That's what's got to be.
I'm in. I mean, that shaft got a lot of buzz. A lot of kids DM'd me and messaged me how to get one. They wanted one. I think eventually Epic put it up on their site for a limited time. So yeah, I mean, I would be down next year, whatever. If I'm an all-star, pray to God I make it, give me something wild out there, something flashy. I'll be part of the design and sell.
Yeah, that's great, man. So let's talk a little bit about you personally. I know you got a pretty great hot sauce collection building up. Let's talk about that, because I find that interesting.
Yeah. So everyone sort of notices that bottom bullet on my Instagram bio that says like hot sauce and ramen enthusiast. I love both of them dearly, but hot sauce obviously has played a role in my life since I was a young kid. I think the first hot sauce I had started out with Tabasco. I picked up a bowl of chili that wasn't mine. Someone had loaded it with Tabasco, and I tried it and I loved it. So from then I was sort of hooked. And it's grown drastically. I mean, my hot sauce collection, I have a shelf right now in my fridge with probably about 15 or so, 16 or 17 hot sauces. They range from the popular brands that I have to give a fair rating and try to, like the truffle hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I have all three, from the extra hot to the white truffle to the black. I got your basic Tabasco red hot sriracha. And then I got everything up to like, I have an El Diablo. Well, I have a Susie's hot sauce, which is like a habanero based hot sauce. It's probably like, a couple 100,000 Scoville units. And then I have everything to like El Diablo hot sauce and the Bomb, which are, the Bomb is you'd use in small doses for big batches. So I think it's somewhere up near 1 million Scoville units. And then El Diablo is one that I eat regularly. That is with ghost peppers.
What do you throw your hot sauce on typically, like in a day?
So I love like basically any sandwich essentially I get, right? I would put hot sauce on it. My favorite things to put hot sauce on are, hamburger helper. Growing up as a kid, I would always put hot sauce on that. Hamburger helper, mac and cheese, any sort of stuff like that. And then definitely like I said, sandwiches. And then lastly, adding, it's not always, I guess you would say hot sauce, but some sort of chili oil or something to ramen, which I think is hence why they go hand in hand. I love like a good spicy bowl of ramen or something like that. So whether it's like sriracha or chili oil or chili paste, even a yuzu pepper bomb, all of those are excellent. So.
Love it. You have hot sauce companies like reaching out to you as your Instagram follower?
No one. I got quite the collection too. So
that might change. We'll see. All right, so let's leave it with this. I was talking earlier about how we got John Sexton coming on, the LILJ Lax View, who's also an Epoch Pro Athlete. You got a question for him that I can ask him a little bit later today?
Yeah. John, are you happier now that you don't have to guard Miles Jones because he's on your team, or would you rather guard him because when he was on our team? What'd you like better, not having to guard him or guarding him?
All right, love it. Great question. Jarrod, it was great having you on. We wish you the best of luck here in the condensed PLL 2020 season.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Stay healthy.
All righty, bye-bye.